Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of First Look, Final Word, the podcast where we take you along to see a movie with us. My name's Pete.
And I'm Trevor. What's going on, you clever girls? Today we're talking Jurassic World Rebirth.
That didn't feel right.
It's like a line from the movie.
I know it is, but it's still...
I'm quoting Clever Girl from the first Jurassic Park.
if anyone's not realizing.
Okay, so I'm not just calling him a clever girl. Anyways, here we go. 5 years after the events of Jurassic World Dominion, of which we are all very aware,
Yes.
covert operations expert Zora Bennett is contracted to lead a skilled team on a top secret mission. I'm just going to cut it off there. There's like 5 more sentences of the synopsis.
Really?
But
Did you really need more?
No, I think we're okay.
I'm looking forward to Bennett. That was a terrible Arnie impression. Bennett.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even get you were doing our
Let off
impression.
some steam, Bennett. No, maybe. No Commando fans, no.
There we go. Well, I've never seen Commando in its full, so I'm sorry. It's on my list.
We're going to have to get back to that at some point because I can't believe you just said you'd never see Commando. But anyway.
I said in full.
It counts. Well, anyway, Jurassic Park.
Anyways.
So you alluded to it a little bit there, but...
Yeah, this one's starting off a bit of a mess. Anyways, if you're new to the podcast...
Just better intro it properly.
Pete and I, we drive to the movies, and we give you our immediate spoiler-free reactions after we immediately leave the theater. But on the way there, we're going to talk a little bit about Jurassic Park and Jurassic World and what...
Yeah, the Jurassic franchise.
The Jurassic franchise in general. So,
But if you're just here to listen to us talk about Justice League, maybe just skip ahead.
Yeah, we will be talking about Justice League. We're doing our ongoing series on Superman in live action.
Yes.
So you can skip ahead to that. I do find talking about Jurassic Park / World interesting.
Oh, yeah.
Though I'm not a fan of the recent movies.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going to say that's what I'm like, but I think that's what everybody's like.
It has its fans, though.
It's weird because this one kind of came out of nowhere for me, like that they were kind of doing a soft reboot on it again, and I was like, oh, okay, I'd be up for that. And then all of a sudden, here we are, and it's out, and I'm a bit like I've not really been super excited to see it, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like I'm up for it. I'm up for like a going back to the more grittier thrill roots versus
that's what they say,
and stuff of the last few.
And this one is directed by Gareth Edwards, who is no slouch.
Exactly, that's what I mean. It's got good people, so I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful this one's going to be a good Jurassic Park movie because their ratio for hits and misses is not doing too well lately.
Well, and you remember the last time we saw a Gareth Edwards movie together, right?
Yes.
It was The Creator, and it was that night we landed on the podcast premise, if you remember.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, we went for a drink right after
that. It's all down to him.
So that was that was right before Killers of the Flower Moon, so our first episode came out. Yeah. So, Gareth Edwards is like the mother of the podcast.
There you go. We'll see you, Gareth.
Yeah.
I know you're listening.
Yeah, so my brief history with Jurassic Park is I saw it in theaters. Actually, saw it at the drive-in when it first came out.
Oh, that must have been amazing.
And I was way too young.
Yeah, I was going to say,
I was 5. And I found the movie very, very scary, which would not be surprising to you. But I've always loved that first movie. As a kid, I really liked The Lost World. I've fallen out of love with it a little bit, but I still think it's a solid movie. It's great filmmaking with a stupid movie, basically.
It's a great way to put it. Great way to put it.
Because there's so many great things in that movie, but it's just
things in it, yeah, for sure.
So dumb. It's so dumb.
Well, I mean, I think the tough thing was, how do you follow up Jurassic Park? Like the phenom that was, and it's so you sort of getting diminishing returns from that point on, really.
It's such an interesting question that why haven't they been able to make another good dinosaur movie?
Yeah, because I mean, I think they struggle to understand what makes it good, and normally it's like we just need bigger dinosaurs or more dinosaurs or crazy looking dinosaurs or dinosaurs that kind of talk that you can communicate with and that are your buddies. It's like, well, I don't think we really need that. Dinosaurs are terrifying. Just show them doing terrifying things.
Well, the two best parts of Jurassic Park, in my opinion, are when they first drive up with Grant and Sadler.
Right.
And they see the herds of dinosaurs walking for the first time.
Yes.
You have the Williams score, which might be my favorite might be my favorite score. It's really tough.
It's a pretty good one. Fair.
And it just soaks you in the majesty of that moment.
very
In like
true.
they're so in awe that dinosaurs exist.
Yeah, and it looked pretty good for like what year did that come out?
That was 93.
93. Like it looked pretty good, man.
And like it still mostly holds up today.
Yeah.
But they can't ever do that again.
No.
They can't. No one is surprised that dinosaurs exist.
Right.
And the second best moment is when they're in the Jeeps and you have the suspension,
the T-Rex,
with the T-Rex.
Yeah.
But like, and they've been trying to replicate that moment with like the newer, scarier dinosaurs, but you're never gonna be able to get that genie back in the bottle.
No, I think you think you nailed it there. You can't get that again because once you break that seal, it's like now we're in a world where this stuff happens, and it's like we can ramp it up a bit. We can make it a bigger dinosaur, but you're just like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess that's scary, but
well, once you get to the Jurassic World movies, dinosaurs existing in the world has been so normalized.
You know what? What are your thoughts on the Jurassic World movies? Because they get a lot of shit, and I don't really like them. But I remember at the time quite enjoying that first one because it was kind of different, and like it showed you like this is what it would be like if they actually went through with it and made a theme park. Which why would you do that? And then people just become numb to it and just like, yeah, it's fine, it's just whatever, and then it goes to shit. I thought that was a pretty good concept. I mean,
well, I
didn't really pull it off as well as they maybe could have, but
I agree that it's an interesting concept because basically it shows you what Jurassic Park might have looked like had it been able to evolve.
Because you know that it wouldn't stop them, right? Like just because a bunch of people get murdered every time you try and do it, they'd still do it.
Yes, because they basically turn Jurassic Park into Epcot,
right?
Or whatever, where like you're just like rolling around in a ball right next to these dinosaurs, and then they're like, we have to do like Verizon Wireless presents whatever animal or
what was the name of that dinosaur?
I don't know. Like it was a combination of a T-Rex and I don't know,
and another dinosaur.
And one that can camouflage or whatever.
Right. I mean, just start giving them superpowers at a certain point.
They're like, hey, let's train these guys for military combat, which never made any sense to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I enjoy that movie. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
The
problem with that movie, and I think all of those movies, is that the human characters just weren't interesting.
They never figured it out.
No, they never got enough rallying ground. That was the problem. And he wasn't like an amazing character.
Or Malcolm,
Malcolm, yeah. Even when they actually bring him
Sattler,
back,
like they're all,
they're all great.
And honestly, Hammett, they haven't, they haven't had.
They've tried, right? They've tried.
Yeah, they did try,
but it just doesn't work. And like Chris Pratt, all power to him, but that character was so boring.
Owen? Is his name Owen?
Yeah.
I think
no offense to Owens, but that's about as exciting as that character is. His name's Owen.
Oh, jeez. I think like half of our subscribers are named Owen.
Sorry. My name's Pete. I'm not super exciting.
There we go. Is Trevor okay? Is that more exciting?
Yeah, that's very hip.
Thanks.
Hey.
I appreciate that.
Never met a boring Trevor.
Okay.
Or two of them, at least.
Yeah, thanks. But no, I think that's exactly right. And the world movies are still like so like in awe of the first movie.
Yeah,
they keep trying to bring back characters from the first movie.
One was way too heavy-handed with that. Like that was a great example of like fan service callbacks to old movies that a lot of legacy sequels fall into, but that one was so ham-fisted where it's like, hey, look, here's some binoculars. You remember these from the other movie, kids? And it's like, they just put them down. And like, what's the point in that?
That was the Jake Johnson character or whatever, who's like just nerding out about Jurassic Park.
Like if they just kept it to him, though, that would have worked. But then they kept trying to crowbar it into random scenes.
Well, it's kind of like watching Lower Decks in a live action format,
that is
right?
A good job. Yeah. But they do it so well.
Yeah, they really do. Not to go off on Star Trek tangent again. We got enough to talk about today.
And we're talking Star Trek. Let's do it.
But by the time of the second movie, there's an entire dinosaur island that's going to be wiped out by a volcano.
Right.
And everyone in the States is like, oh, yawn, this is so boring. I don't care about these dinosaurs in trouble.
Right.
And then the third one, the whole premise is like, let's have dinosaurs just be like part of nature all around us. And full disclosure, I have not watched the third movie.
I do not remember the second one. I think I watched it, but I definitely did not see Dominion.
The second one has a good sequence, I'll say, like where they have like a crazy serial killer dinosaur like stalking people in a house.
Oh, yeah, I definitely did not see that.
I think it's okay. So I think the second one's worth watching. I think it's a bad movie, but that part of it I really like.
Oh yeah, serial killer stalker dinosaurs.
Because it's, I think it's successfully recreated the tension of the Velociraptor,
Right, I see
chasing the kids around.
Yeah.
Now,
yeah.
obviously not as good as that, but it got like pretty close to that feeling.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't. It's a weird thing because I was thinking about it today, and I don't know why I've never even thought about it. I was like, why didn't I watch those movies? Because like I just said, like I enjoyed the first one enough, but it wasn't like I was really hyped to see more of them, and like the reviews weren't great, and I was just like, you know what, I think I'm fine with the Jurassic movies that I know.
Well, it's strange. Like all three of them made over $1 billion,
Wow,
which just seems crazy because
that is crazy.
no one's enthusiastic about
they kept
that.
making them now. I guess yeah, who's watching those? That is interesting. I wonder what this one's gonna do.
I think like younger audiences still kind of flock to that, and like Jurassic Park has some huge fans. My sister is among them. Like she's big. That's her favorite movie.
Yeah, I think
it's
one of those movie franchises that people who aren't movie people love. You know what I mean?
Well, I think there's a bit of that too, but I think like those early movies had such goodwill, it's still somehow carried on into these ones.
Plus, like, who doesn't like dinosaurs?
I love the idea.
Everybody likes dinosaurs.
We talk all the time on this podcast about how much we love spectacle,
right? Yeah,
but neither of us are interested that much in seeing this movie.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I don't know why that is, but I am pretty excited for this one though. I'm happy. I'm here for a good dinosaur movie.
Well, and I've heard it's going for more of a dark thriller tone, so I'm all down for that.
And that's a tricky line to tread as well, though. You don't want to make it too, because it's inherently silly at points, right? Dinosaurs running around eating people.
Yeah, but I would say the first movie
one was terrible.
Is a horror movie.
Yeah, it definitely is. Like Samuel L. Jackson's arm just falling down on her, like
that's the best.
That's like horror movie tropes for sure.
With just like Dr. Sattler running from one building to the other is so
like limping through that building. Oh man, yeah. Even the camera work was like horror style.
Yeah, well, we could talk. You know what? We should do an episode on that, like a classic
on the first Jurassic
first Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah, we should. We will go back to our classic commentary episodes,
or do a second commentary episode.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Let's do it.
We'll follow up our hugely, highly acclaimed.
Hard
rain commentary that everybody asked for. That was just for us.
Should we put a pin in Jurassic Park?
Yeah, let's put a pin in Jurassic Park. We'll talk more about it after the movie because we'll probably have a lot to say after it. But yeah.
So we are now in week 10.
Is it week 10?
Or was it week 10 last week?
Let's just say it's week 10.
Week 10 of our ongoing Project Superman, wherein we watch every live-action Superman movie.
Right.
It's been a long, strange journey, Pete, to get here.
It really has, hasn't it?
Like, seems like a good chunk of my life.
Yeah, I feel like I'm very steeped in Superman stuff now. I didn't really realize how much Superman there's actually been, and like we only really touched on a bit of it. Like we've not even got into any of the TV stuff, but we can talk about that next week.
We've talked about plenty of TV stuff too, though, is the thing.
Did we?
Along the way.
Yeah, I guess we mentioned it here and there, but like we haven't dug in and like not done a rewatch of Superman and Lois or anything.
Well, then maybe that's next step.
That's what I mean. Yeah, let's not go that way. But no, it's been crazy, man. It's like it's kind of weirdly changed my view of Superman.
Yeah,
when I first started.
I think I have a more optimistic view on life.
There you go.
Series, the characters rubbed off on me.
Yeah. Because I mean, Matt talked about this before, but we can go over stuff. But I always kind of thought of Superman as like, yeah, we know Superman. He's a goody guy and fights Lex Luthor, and that's about it. But like, I always in my mind felt like he wasn't complex of enough character to make it interesting. You know what I mean? But he definitely is.
Yes.
And I think that's a stupid mindset. So if anybody else out there still thinks that way, get to watching some more Superman and you'll change your mind.
Because I think it is true on like a very superficial level in that this guy is way too overpowered, oh, like
Yeah.
kryptonite is his weakness. That's the only thing we can ever do to make it interesting.
Right, right.
And like, why do you need a Justice League when you just have Superman?
Yes, that's very true.
But no, like there's a lot going on, and what I've appreciated about this watch is the differences in approach
Yes.
to the character,
Yep.
and I kind of appreciate them all. Like I,
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's what I think people need to get over and sort of understand. Is like you can have different takes on characters. Like you can change things up, and it's not going to ruin that character. Okay, it's just a different type. It's just a different telling of that story, and there'll be another one along the line in 5 or 6 years. So don't worry about it. And also, by the way, there's a million comic books that you could go and read that have multiple different takes on the character. So
yeah, exactly. Again,
it's fine.
I've seen a lot of things about like super big Snyder fans who are
Yeah.
just like dead set against this
That's what I mean. Like
this
no,
stuff
no other
happening.
Superman is even worth talking about.
And I think it's a lot of people who like they grew up like Man of Steel was their first
Yeah, yeah,
Superman movie, and so that's the version that they know and that's the version that they like. And
yeah,
I can kind of get that, but like you got to give stuff a chance.
yeah. Well, I mean, we can when we get into the whole Justice League of it all, because I think that's where it comes from. I think people just feel like personally insulted and maligned about how that all went down, and it's kind of just like, no, fuck you, like you ruined the movie I wanted to see, and you ruined the universe that I was invested in. So,
Yeah.
so it's
Well,
just a reactionary action to that.
but to be honest, like it's a box office thing, and it's
Yeah.
it's also like it's some stupid decisions from the studio
Yeah.
that were meddling in things
Yep.
that got in the way. Like
Exactly.
it's not the fault of James Gunn or whatever.
No,
Like
no, exactly.
and
Well,
honestly,
honestly, though, that's what I mean. I think they feel like they're personally attacked because in their mind, James Gunn is responsible for killing that universe. He could have carried it on, right, if he really wanted to, but they decided not to.
I think what you could say is that like that universe was drowning
Yeah, it
up
was
to
already
its
dead. It
up
was
to
already
its
dead. Yeah,
neck.
don't get me wrong, it was already dead. But in their view, he could have revived it. He could have brought Cavill
Yeah.
back. He was already on board. Even The Rock was already sorting it out, and they just like, nah.
I think you could have, but I think it would have been a bad
Oh,
creative
I'm
and
definitely not saying they should have.
bad business
Don't get it
decision too.
twisted. I
Yeah,
don't, I don't. I'm just trying to put my head in their mindset.
yeah.
All
I
right,
know,
so
like it's like you can just get too invested in this stuff.
no, for sure. But that's what fandom's about, man.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't even hate him for it.
so I went into this project having not seen either version of Justice League.
Wait a minute. I thought you just hadn't seen
No,
his version.
We've been over this so many times
I know.
before.
I can't remember what happened last week or the week.
You need to remember
You
every.
hadn't seen either of them.
I hadn't seen either.
That's insane to me. Like, were you just like under a rock when you saw it came out?
When did the Wheaton one come out?
It's 2017.
Yeah, my daughter was born that summer, so like that's probably a big reason
I
why.
mean, I guess.
And then
But you're a big DC nerd, aren't you? A little bit. Not really. I don't know.
I'd say yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I
Like, how
see.
can you not see a Justice League movie then?
Because so I think
Like,
I was
I even watched the CW
So,
stuff, and that's
after Batman v Superman, I was
Yeah.
kind of like, and I thought the movie
get
was
it.
okay.
Yeah.
And so for Justice League, I was taking a let's wait and see.
Okay.
You heard all about all the problems
Yeah.
that movie had production wise.
Yeah.
I had a newborn at home, so my capital to go out and see movies is limited.
Fair.
So I was taking a wait and see. I want to see if anyone's saying like, this is a must see, or I can see it later.
So you just thought, I'll watch that in 8 years.
Yeah, well, I'll just watch it in 8 years.
All right, so big question then. Which version did you watch this week?
I watched Zack Snyder's Justice League, of
You
course.
watched Zack Snyder's Justice League. Got it.
I felt like I did not have to watch the Wheaton film.
Well, I, like the true hero that I am, managed to watch both versions this week,
Okay.
back to back.
Is that 7 hours of your life?
Something like that. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
It's almost a full working day.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
so I've got opinions about this.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of opinions about the Justice League. I saw someone call it, which I liked. The Whedon version.
So like the Suicide Squad?
No, like Joss Whedon, the Justice League.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to see it written down, really.
Right,
Got an
okay.
accent as well. Anyway, yeah, because like I really like these movies, like more than I remembered liking them. And don't get me wrong, they're not perfect by any means of exaggeration. And the Joss Whedon cut is an absolute mess in certain parts. And he did some horrible things. And like I can understand why people hate that. I hated it when it came out, but like some distance and looking back at it, it's not that bad of a movie. Like it's not horrible. It's got the Justice League in it. How can you not like that? But it was not good.
To just have like tone issues, but like individual parts are
well. I mean,
okay.
it was cut to the bone. So like Cyborg's backstory was gone. He was basically just really done a disservice. And
that's a big thing.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem, right? Is that the story that Zack Snyder wanted to do was freaking a lot, and you could tell it's a lot because his cut was over 4 hours when it came out. But there's an argument to be said that it needed to be quite long, maybe not 4 hours. There's definitely stuff he could have cut from that movie. But the theatrical movie that Warner Brothers pushed for, that Joss Whedon did, it was cut so much. It's like barely any of the characters got a story,
right?
And you can tell the big thing was like this needs way more Superman. Like there's not enough Superman in this movie, and Superman needs to be more light in tone. Across the board, there needs to be more light in tone. Throw some jokes in there. So they did that, and it works to an extent. Like I'm not going to say I don't need more Superman in my Justice League movie. I'm here for that, but it's like it's weirdly crowbarred in, and like the tone, the fluctuations are just insane because it just didn't work. So what I'm trying to say is, I would have loved to seen a Joss Whedon Justice League movie
from start to finish.
Just let him make his own.
Yeah,
I mean, fuck him right now, but like, if you're gonna do it, let him just do it from the start. And then I would love to see Zack Snyder's movie because he has his own style as well. And I think they both there's place in the world for both of those, and they shouldn't have tried to mix the two and get a Frankenstein out there.
Well, but basically, it was the studio kind of capitalizing on a tragedy, basically to bring in someone who did the Avengers and who, because it's very clear from the onset of this project that Warner Brothers was saying, you need to be like the Avengers, right? Not realizing why that first movie was so good is because they had laid so much groundwork for the characters before.
Well, and I think, honestly, I think you have to lay a lot of the blame at the feet of Batman v Superman. I think the reaction to that movie spooked Warner Brothers so hard that they were just like, shit, we need to make this more light in tone and do it more like the Avengers.
Well, and I just read this today. Batman v Superman premiered 1 month into shooting of this movie.
Oh, really?
Right? So it was kind of that late of a pivot.
Wow, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because they obviously just were like shitting themselves.
Because they were just like, they were so convinced, we'll put Batman and Superman in a movie together, they're going to fight each other. This is going to make $2 billion.
It should have just been a slam dunk, right? It's like the first time ever this has happened.
And then, people weren't like entirely sold on the movie.
No,
and
with good reason. Listen to our episode. Listen to last week's episode.
We have pros and cons. I came out more pro than I thought I would.
Me too, actually. Yeah.
So I haven't really said what I think about this movie. I
kind of just steamrolled over you.
I think it's pretty good. I liked it a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah.
I would say
it's good, right?
I'd say like a solid B+.
That Zack Snyder movie, his cut of it, I think is really good. Actually, I'd be even more up on it than you.
Yeah, and I'm very interested in what like the original cut would have been, because we're still obviously, he got $70 million to recut it, right? But obviously he's not getting every actor back.
Well, it is pretty crazy how much of it is different. Like watching them back to back. Like the whole design of Steppenwolf is totally different.
Yeah, well, that's something that they can fix in
which
post.
was but and a lot of it I think was just stuff that was cut out that he just put back in.
Yes,
because in the theatrical movie there is no dark side at all.
Yeah,
which is like, why would you do that? Like, why would you not have one of the best Superman villains?
Because they would say, this character's too much like Thanos. He wants to do the same thing as Thanos, even though Darkseid was first.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but then they're like, oh, it's fine. Steppenwolf's a good enough bad guy for the whole Justice League to be worried about. It's like, is he though?
Because he doesn't have any of his backstory of like, he's basically like imprisoned. He has to give Darkseid 5,000 more worlds.
Yeah, something like that. Whatever it was. No, because I'm really like here for all the like, oh, and here's this character showing up now for no reason, and like, And the ending, we can get into the ending later on, but like I was just like, that's my jam, right? I'm like, yep, show me an alternate future, and then throw the joke, even throw Jared
Well, I
Leto's
have
Joker
some.
in there.
I think that. So to skip ahead,
Yeah, like fuck it.
I think that ending is not good.
See,
I don't.
see, I love it.
I
I
don't like
loved
it at
it.
all.
I loved it.
I think like particularly when Ben Affleck is interacting with Jared Leto's Joker.
Really? See,
I like
see, I loved
were
all
they
that.
were they in the same room together
I
at any
don't. I
point?
doubt it.
Because like it honestly it seems like the rhythm of a conversation is not there at all.
Yeah.
And like Batman keeps like threatening him, and then he keeps saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, I killed Robin," and he's just like, "Go ahead, cross that line." I'm just like, man,
It's like
he
you
just
better,
fucking
you better watch what you say, and
just-
then he does it. He goes, "You didn't watch what you say," and it's like, "What are you gonna do about it?"
It's like,
But you see, I like that stuff because
yeah,
it's like
you better be careful. Oh yeah, I fucked your mom. It's like, oh well, say one more thing, I'm gonna come at you.
that's why I mean, I love that stuff because it's like we're in a world now where like Batman can't just smash the Joker in the face because he needs him because there's literally no one else left to fight. So it's like I really want to fuck you up right now, but literally I can't. And Joker's like,
Okay.
I know that you can't, so
Uh,
I'm just gonna needle you as much as I like.
Honestly, I'm with you for most of this stuff. I think that future scene is not very good.
Oh, I just like what it implied that like
I
we
think
can do crazy comic book shit with these characters and just have fun with it and do alternate timelines where freaking now this one's showing up.
Well, I think when Batman has that vision in Batman v Superman of the future,
yeah.
I think that is really well done.
That was really well.
I don't like this one at all.
Well, it was obviously tacked on, and I'm not saying it was the best piece of cinema you've ever seen. I think I just like the idea of it, and I'm just like into that kind of stuff where it's like, let's just throw a random crazy scene with all these characters in just to like get people excited.
Well, I already don't like Jared Leto, and I didn't like him before it was cool, and I think his Joker is really bad.
His Joker is bad, but I kind of thought like it was a bit of a redemption for that character because he actually plays it like way better in this than he does in any of the other scenes or movies that they popped him up in before.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what, he could have done a good job with Joker.
Maybe we'll have to move on from this because I'm not going to agree.
Yeah, we don't agree, but I like that stuff. That's what I mean. I liked a lot of the stuff in this movie that's like that. I mean, the only thing that I did kind of trip up a little bit was the Martian Manhunter showing up. But like, I love that he showed up. But
Martian Manhunter like impersonating Martha Kent for some reason makes no fucking sense.
That was the one bit. Like, if they just had him show up at the end and talk to Bruce Wayne, I would have been into that. That would have been a cool reveal. But yeah, crowbarring him into that bit, I was just like, seemed a bit weird and unnecessary.
But at the end of Batman v Superman, I know I was not happy that Superman was dead because we did like no one actually believes that he's going to be dead for real.
Yeah.
But watching this one, I thought, okay, you know what? This is a clever way for them to nerf Superman. You can't get more nerfed than being dead,
right?
Right, and then
have to fight them as well. You always got to get them fighting.
They made an interesting decision with the we're gonna use the last mother box. We're gonna activate it, so that means they'll know where it is. But then this will get us our guy back.
Yeah.
And then, but after that, people just forget about the mother box completely. Again, like Ben Affleck as Batman's proving like he's the fucking stupidest character ever.
He's not like Batman's supposed to be so smart, and in this movie, he's kind of just like,
hey,
but I'm just on the sidelines here.
But no, like they were judging the weight of that decision, and like it's interesting, right? Because at any point, Steppenwolf could find this, and then we'd lose this. He might find this now, but then at least we can get Superman back.
Yeah, they kind of put all their chips on that, right?
But I think that's a good way. It's a good way to do a Justice League movie is to find a way to sideline Superman for as long as possible.
You kind of have to, right?
I think that in this cut, they could have brought him back for like maybe 5 minutes earlier because he shows up and he doesn't really end up doing that much.
Yeah, that's the problem with this cut, and I think that's why they tried to bring Cavill back and like CGI out his mustache to get him back in it because there's just not enough Superman in the Joss Whedon cut.
He needed to get in there sooner for the fight, I think.
Yeah, but like when he shows up and he's just like decimating him, it's just like, okay, like I guess this fight's done.
Well, because like they almost beat Steppenwolf on their own without him. Like they were pretty close a few times.
Well, and that's the funny thing because in the Joss Whedon cut, like they all that stuff with the Flash, they just take out.
Because that was like honestly, I rag on that scene a little bit because
Because it won the Oscar or whatever.
it won the Oscar for the best action scene of all time or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever that award was, the Flash entering the Speed Force. It's so fucking stupid, but like it really worked in this.
It's so
scene.
good. It's
like
and it gives Barry a reason for like his whole arc.
And like honestly, it was just filmed so well. Like you see like the disaster being undone as he's running and then touching
it was so cool.
cyborgs. Like it was just
it was so cool seeing them being like reconstituted, like the skull and the
like even Superman being reconstituted. Like
great.
I think like it's just a really, really well done scene.
It really was.
Really impressed with Zack Snyder out of that one. And then it goes kind of right into the cyborgs inner life, which like wasn't as good, but it was still interesting. Almost like an emotional beat on an emotional beat.
Yeah. Which is kind of like, it's really difficult to do when you've got this big ensemble team movies.
Yeah.
It's like give everyone an emotional arc and something to do and a reason to be there. Well, and they did an absolutely terrible job of that in the theatrical cut.
Yeah, like, I think that like the intro to the Flash as like his origin story.
Yeah.
Well, not even origin story. His introduction.
Yeah, none of that is in the theatrical cut.
But like that was
saving Iris out of the car crash.
I liked it really good, and it's interesting that like Iris wasn't named as a character that whole time. She didn't have a line of dialogue. It's kind of funny. I thought that was a really good introduction. The introduction to Aquaman was okay.
Yeah.
It's like it was kind of like he just came to the village and nothing happened.
I mean, he's just like his job is like just look like a cool surf bro.
Yeah,
like, he does it very well, but there's not really much more deep than that.
Apparently, like the intro music was White Stripes.
Oh, was it?
To him in the theatrical one, which like they landed on something much better.
Right.
I think Cyborg's intro was really good, and of course, like they do an origin story for him. But like it's a lot to have happen in one movie that you're basically doing.
Well, that's the problem, right? There's a
like
lot of heavy
a half origin, half intro.
That's why you need 4 hours.
At least 3 characters.
I was wondering, do you think they could have cut it up into 2 different? Do you think you would have cut it up into 2 movies? Is there a point you could split that Justice League movie thing that you did on HBO into 2 movies?
Yeah, when you wake up Superman.
Yeah, that would be the point, right, to end it, or like when they fight him, maybe.
I think so. Like it doesn't break up that well.
I just don't know how you tell that story in one.
Yeah, it's just
in one under a 3-hour movie.
I was really liking this movie throughout. Between hour 2 and 3, I'm like, okay, this is going on a bit too long.
There was certain scenes where you're like, come on, man, can we just cut the singing ladies at the water's edge like a couple of minutes sooner? Like,
yeah,
I've got to go to bed.
There's just there's a bit too much like refusal of the call stuff going on. Like getting the team together takes a full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It just takes a little bit too long. I don't really like Lois in this movie because she's just like a grieving widow thing.
Yeah.
And like it's understandable. Like Superman's probably a good lay, right? Like and you like
what are you supposed to do after
love of her life, but like also in these movies. You have Wonder Woman, who's just mourning the death of, Chris Pine
still
for 80 years or whatever.
Yeah.
So like the 2 women and Martha Kent. It's like
true.
Like every woman in this one is just like so devoted to people who are long past dead. And like I know for Lois it's just like a few weeks or whatever, right? But like she's just wallowing in sadness. So I don't know. I think that women don't come off the best in that regard in these movies.
That is a very good point.
Just like Lois has always been like her own character, and here in this one, she's just an extension of Clark Kent, and without him, she's just this well of sadness who doesn't even want to go to work. Which I don't.
Gabe gives up on her job.
I don't believe for that character at all.
Yeah.
Like if anything, she'd just become a workaholic and ignore her feelings.
Well,
I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean. Zack Snyder does not really nail like the essence of a lot of these characters, but that's why I'm like, you know what? If he wants to say that Lois Lane's a sad sack, I mean, I'm not really agreeing with that. But I mean,
I think
more power to your own.
I think Lois is really good in the other 2 movies, though.
That's true.
I just don't really like her in this one.
Maybe I think
she has nothing to do except for be sad and
I was gonna say maybe there just wasn't room for her to do much, but I was like, well, there's a lot of room for her to look sad. She was in a lot of scenes.
She's in a lot of scenes,
I think
man.
we saw her take coffee to the police officer 3 separate times.
I don't know, she can be sad while like helping to move the plot
True,
along.
true.
And I feel like she would be working with Batman because they fucking know each other in this universe.
Very true.
And Lois is really smart, and Batman isn't in this universe.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so those are some minor faults I have with the movie, but I I'm very positive on this overall, and a little surprised that
Good. It's good.
yeah, it is. I said B plus.
The one,
Like
the
I think
one,
it's pretty
yeah.
good. Like I don't think it's as good as Avengers, which is like
No, no.
it's the biggest parallel because it's pretty close to being the same movie as the Avengers.
Well, I mean, all these superhero team ups essentially have to follow the same sort of plot points. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
It was like we're opening the portal for the bigger batter who's going to come through the portal, so we got to get these things all together.
Oh no, a big CGI bad guy.
Yeah.
Two of them.
This also felt very Lord of the Ringsy in that like we have the Atlanteans who get their ring, and then we have
that's very
we
true.
have the dwarves who get their ring, and then
the scene of like in the past where they all band together to kill.
Yeah,
And that was very Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It's like men and dwarves. I mean, Atlanteans. That was.
I guess
cool,
the Amazonians would be the elves, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's still cool, though, man. They got a freaking Green Arrow show up.
I like that
Green Arrow or
I like that
Green
was just
Lantern?
like fully animated version.
right.
Like kind of hiding that's animated, but still like just like fully animated. I thought that was that in the theatrical?
Yeah,
That
yeah,
version?
it
Okay.
was. Yeah, but it was a little short. But yeah, it was definitely in there.
So should I watch the theatrical at
I
some
think you
point?
should because it's just worth seeing just for like part of history and just to see Henry Cavill's weird face. And
Well, I've seen the weird face.
yeah, but I mean, like it's very odd. What did you think of the black suit? Because we should be talking about Superman, I suppose. What do you feel on the black suit? Because theatrical cut, no black suit.
Oh, I see. You know, like I think if I saw it at the time, I would be disappointed in it. But
Yeah.
now that like I know it, like this is just an artifact, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, me too.
I like that we have a movie coming up that's colorful.
Yeah,
A colorful
it's
version of the suit.
definitely, like it pulled all the color out.
I'm
of it.
honestly like I think I came to this movie at the right time where I can just like appreciate it
Yeah,
without getting defensive about where it's taking the character. Because
Well,
I like I said, I like that this version of Superman
Yep.
exists.
Yeah, and I think that's the
And I
point.
like that we're moving on from it.
Yeah, and I think that's the point because when it came out, it was just disappointing that
Like this is going to be
this
Superman
is
for the
what
next 20 years.
and it was very disappointing with how it turned out. That's what happened with Batman v Superman. It was just so disappointing when it came out because it was you were so excited to see it.
Yeah.
That's why, like looking back, you can say, it wasn't that bad. But when it came out, it was like the worst thing you've ever seen. It's like, how can you fuck this up? It's Superman and Batman.
Yeah. And we'll say like Aquaman just like there's no fucking point to him when he's not in the water. Like
Yeah.
he just looks like I like that they teamed him up with Flash.
Yeah, his power set seems to just change based
It's-
off the scene as well. Sometimes he was like super strong, and other times he was just kind of
Yeah,
like
I
a
don't
normal
know.
dude. Yeah.
Like I don't have to heap praise on Ezra Miller because he's also a piece of shit, but
Yeah.
he's really good in this movie. He's good in both. He's good in both the
People give
movies.
his Flash a lot of shit, but
Really?
yeah,
No, I
like,
think-
like online and people just say like he's annoying, like, but like
Yeah, Flash is annoying though. Like
that's the point of his
he is-
character. He's like autistic almost.
like yeah, neuroatypical
Yeah, exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
well,
that's the whole point of him,
his brain's just moving too fast. I like.
right?
I would get tired of it if it wasn't.
His character sucked in the theatrical version. I'll just give you that. He's just like he basically is just annoying and does nothing of any note. Like
Yeah.
you take away that introduction sequence of him. You take away him doing anything at the end. Like literally, they changed the end so that
I wonder if he was just testing badly.
maybe, but he's not because he's still in it. So instead, in the end, instead of him like running into the Speed Force and saving the day, he's like they just put him on like you go and help people, like
Yeah.
evacuate.
Who's
But then he doesn't even help them. And it's funny. There's like a scene. It's like we need to help us get everyone out of the building, and he's just like, "Oh, I'll help you out of the building." And
Well,
then
he does that a little bit.
but he just like goes, "Come this way."
Yeah, like it,
that was earlier on. I think
Yeah.
that's in both versions.
I didn't like that scene at all.
It's so
Like where they're going into like the building to surprise Steppenwolf. I think it looks.
Yeah.
I think it's just like a bad D&D campaign scene right there, where like these superheroes are just like going through like a hallway together. It just never
Yeah.
films well.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyways, I'm fairly positive on the movie as a whole. Glad I saw it, and
Yeah, it's good.
kind of the end of our project. Except now we're gonna see Superman.
Superman next week's just going to be full on Superman. We're just going to talk Superman for the entire ride here.
And do a recap of everything we learned.
Yeah, I think we should do a bit of like things that we haven't got into too deep.
Let's do it.
Because we haven't really got into comic books really, or specific comic books we like, or even the TV stuff. I know we touched on it a bit, but we didn't really talk Smallville very much.
Well, and I love the Superman cartoon show from the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
I love the DC animated movies. Like, I've seen almost all of them.
They're so good.
Fucking guy has a fucking MAGA hat on. Jesus Christ.
Let's not get into that. We're gonna lose.
We're
gonna lose our.
We're just very solidly in Canada here, so it's unusual to see. Anyways,
he also has a giant Yeti cooler on his back, so
he's living his best life.
Life.
He's definitely gonna go see Jurassic World. That guy. Okay, well, folks, if you're new to the podcast, Pete and I are gonna go inside and watch Jurassic World Rebirth.
Fair play to you for getting that name right, because I did not know that's what it was.
I had to search for it. We'll give you our immediate spoiler-free reactions before giving you plenty of warning before heading into spoiler talk. Yeah. Anything else, Pete?
No, I think that's it, man. Let's go do it.
Wish us luck, everybody.
Bye, guys. Welcome back, everyone. We're already in the car on the way home from Jurassic World Rebirth.
There you go.
I was going to say Afterbirth.
Well, this is kind of an afterbirth of a franchise,
so
right?
What did you think of that movie? Trevor, did it recapture your love of the Jurassic Park franchise by making you feel the feels you did when you were just a small wee 5-year-old scared child in the theater?
It was trying pretty hard to capture on nostalgia in a way that
it was more than I was expecting.
Yeah, like there were some mechanics and some shots that were kind of just cribbed right from Jurassic Park, which surprised me that they're still doing that.
I know, right? It's like I thought this was going to be something fresh.
Is this movie 7? Of it? Well, so
yeah, we got in the franchise. Yeah, I guess it is number 7, right?
So I'll say, like, I think this movie is like fine. The plot is like actually like functional,
right?
In a way that some of the Jurassic World movies have not been.
Fair.
But I think it's just like I found it a little boring, to be honest. I don't know. What did you think?
I actively hate this movie. I thought it was the words of the great Ian Malcolm, it was a big pile of what was he saying? Steaming pile of shit.
Yeah. Just because you can make a Jurassic Park movie doesn't.
Yeah.
Wait. You were so busy thinking about if you could make a Jurassic Park movie, you didn't stop and think, should you make a Jurassic Park movie?
Like, you gonna have any believable characters in your movie? No, I really didn't like it.
I didn't actively hate it. Well,
I mean,
I can understand actively hating.
I mean, I guess actively hating it might be a bit hyperbolic.
Hey, that's how you feel your feels, man. This is
like I just couldn't find anything to like about it. Let's put it that way, and that just made me angry that it made me sit there for 2 hours and just be like, please, can this just be done now?
Well, I think right off the bat, the movie made a mistake by.
Made a mistake.
They I think a big mistake from Jurassic World was that Bryce Dallas Howard's character is just totally unlikable.
Yes.
And
they said, what about if we had a whole movie of characters like that?
Yeah, and so like it opens up and like ScarJo, who is one of the most likable actors on the face of the planet, right. For some reason they make her character a mercenary.
I did not buy her as that character at all. And the character was horrible, and I didn't buy her in that role at all. And I was like, wow, this is just brutal.
And like they're trying to show like she's a mercenary, but you know what? There's a soft heart under that.
Heart of gold down there underneath all the Kevlar.
And I think it makes a big mistake off the bat. Like Jurassic Park, we like those characters. Those characters are like, even Grant, who says I don't like children. Is still likable.
Yeah.
Because he's a scientist and he cares about science.
Right.
Like a mercenary is never going to be sympathetic of a character.
Well, yeah. I mean, I won't spoil anything, I guess, but I mean, geez.
Well, so that was cardinal sin number 1. In the opening 10 minutes, there's a second cardinal sin, which is when we meet the science guy. he is not played by Dan Stevens. For some reason, he's not played, because
That is a great call.
when I saw him, I thought it was Dan Stevens, and then I was disappointed for the entire rest of the movie because I'm like, why isn't this Dan Stevens playing this role? I assume he was offered the role and he was filming Godzilla X Kong.
See, now you've said that, now I hate it even more.
Well,
nothing against.
Honestly,
I don't know the actor's name that plays that part.
Yeah, he was like
I didn't recognize him from anything.
He was totally fine.
He was totally fine, but yeah,
he has a face that's completely like.
Yeah, it was just bland.
Yeah,
Dr. Bland.
But no, he's like the third guy you call when Dan Stevens can't come
honestly,
out to do that role.
I did feel like this movie was like terribly miscast, which is kind of sad because I love a lot of the actors in it.
Yeah, like I think
Mahershala Ali, I thought was probably my favorite character in it, but even him, some of the stuff they had him say and the arc is just like, oh my word,
it
was so white.
He's such a good actor
that surface level bullshit. His whole
honestly, like his whole arc.
He had one thing.
Someone took a screenwriting class, but just went to the first day.
That's what it was like. It was like everything was so basic and surface level archetypes. It was like, you're this person, this is your motivation, and that's it. And it's like, okay.
Honestly, he needs extra added motivation to not want to see a child die.
Exactly. And they'll just keep heaping it on as to why. It's like, okay, we don't really need this. I think it's pretty safe to say people don't want to see children die.
Oh my gosh. And you know what? He has a backstory, so that makes sense.
It was so cack-handed and ham-fisted. Every time they were going for deep emotional scenes, it was just so they want to throw up.
They were investing a lot of time. There were full scenes that were meant to give you emotional, weighty backstory.
Yep.
And both ScarJo and Mahershala are incredible actors, and they do a pretty good job. But
I don't think it's their fault.
I'm just left wondering, why is this scene in there? Could there not have been a more economical way for them to have this conversation? That conversation starts with, hey, do you want to talk about some heavy stuff? Sure. We'll talk about my heavy stuff. Now let's talk about your heavy stuff. Oh, yeah. Man, we're both fucked up, eh?
It's like the definition of tell, don't show.
Yeah, no,
we'll just explain
exactly.
To you. Here's the exposition part. I have a tragic backstory, and I'm going to cry because someone I know died, and it really messed me up. But, not just saying that, actually saying those exact words.
Yeah. I think I have PTSD from my last mission.
And some of it's supposed to be, and that's the other thing. I found the tone quite odd in this. It seemed like they were going for a jokey tone for a lot of it.
It was very Jurassic Park 3.
Which is exactly not what we expected when we went into it. We were they're going back to the roots. It's going to be like a thriller and it's going to be really scary. It was not that at all.
Yeah, I'd say in tone it's very close to Jurassic Park 3.
Yes, exactly. It's ridiculous. I just don't understand why I don't understand how you come to the table and it's got good people involved with this. Fucking Spielberg's the producers and Amblin are involved.
David Koepp, who was the screenwriter of the first movie, was back for this one. I don't think I pronounced his name. They all come to the table and they say, this is the movie we're doing. I did see it said based on characters from Michael Crichton. Is that just because it's a Jurassic Park movie or is it specifically one of the books? No, I think because that's
the only thing I can think of is maybe this was one of the books that they've tried to adapt and it just didn't go very well.
No, Crichton just did Jurassic Park and he wrote The Lost World as a sequel.
Right, I didn't know if he'd done any more.
But you know what? Maybe some of these characters are featured in
The Lost World
books. It's been a long time since I read the book, so I really can't tell you.
Oh, yeah.
But actively hating it, okay. I was going to say, I think...
I detested it. I was like, I wish Chris Pratt could just pop up and do some hijinks. That's blue.
I think I like this movie more than any of the other World movies that I've seen.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't at all. And I haven't even seen them.
I just think,
if you said to me, do you want to watch the Jurassic World, freaking whatever the last one of that one was, or this again, I'd be like, I'm never watching this again. There's no way you could pay me to watch that again.
I appreciate that this movie at least had a straightforward plot.
Oh, it was so boring in one note, though. It's like, we need to go and... It was honestly like a video game. It was just like video game. Oh, we need to find the three biggest, one from land, one from air, one from sea, and we need to collect them by shooting them with this. But I'm like, this is a video game, and not even a very fucking clever video game, and not a very interesting one that you've not done very well.
And it wasn't them fulfilling that mission was not exciting.
No. And I think they wanted you to think it like at the end. Oh, we're not getting into spoilers, but I think they wanted you to feel the stakes of it, but like there didn't really feel like there was any stakes.
Well, the stakes are, let's use some of the dinosaur tissue to help solve heart disease or whatever.
I mean, we're not into spoilers, but that's not really a spoiler.
That's not really that's why they're going on the mission. But like they had dinosaurs in zoos for a really long fucking time.
Yes, Trevor, they need the special ones.
Is there nothing on file for any of these?
He said they need active blood that's still alive.
I just didn't quite believe.
It's because, Trevor, it was bullshit.
Yeah.
That's why. It was ridiculous bullshit.
Like, and there's also a plot of this family that's like trapped on the island.
Man, don't even get me started.
And this is clearly two scripts, two ideas for a way to take this movie colliding together.
It didn't make any sense. And the way that they fixed that problem is by just having them be totally different stories that just happen at the same time.
Yeah, like they intersect and then they divide again. So like there's no way that these like all belonged in the same script originally.
But you know
there's
what,
no
Trevor?
way.
At least the family wasn't full of annoying characters that and you really cared for them. And they had really good personalities and stuff, so it was amazing.
Did every one of the family bother you?
I was praying that they all died.
Okay.
And I don't think I was supposed to be doing that. I was like, please can we just kill these off? I really do not care about any of them.
I cared more about the family than anyone else on the regular mission.
Well, I guess I wanted them all to die, to be honest.
That would have been good.
And I went to the bathroom and missed a death, so that was sad.
Yeah, I bet you couldn't even tell me who died during that time.
It was Dead Meat Thompson, a crewmate. Ensign Dead Meat Thompson.
It was the other girl that they brought on.
Yeah, I figured. Who like honestly I thought was one of the most interested because she had like a weird earring and tattoo on her neck. Which was more than I cared about any of the other characters.
Yeah, there was that guy, the guy who only spoke French.
Yes, he had a personality. He was French. The French one.
And then you had like the asshole who doesn't value life.
Yes.
Mahershala.
There's always one of them now.
I thought it was interesting.
The captain, yes. Mahershala, the captain.
I thought it was interesting in this movie. Like you had the lawyer character from Jurassic Park, who was basically in this entire movie.
Yeah, and he's just the more handsome version.
Not even that much more handsome, to be honest.
No, you don't think so?
No, he's not my type. But
wow, sorry, Rupert.
Don't want to yuck your yum, but
oh man, I like Rupert. Rupert Friend, right? Is that his name?
That's the actor's name?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Yeah,
what's he from? What's he from?
Stuff. I think he said Homeland.
I never watched Homeland.
It's good. No, I like him. He's one of those guys that pops up and stuff. I'm like, I know him.
I know his face, yeah.
But yeah,
I just don't think it's handsome.
You don't think he's handsome? Okay, fair enough.
Movie star handsome.
He's a movie star.
He's standing next to Scarlett Johansson. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess, but
like Mahershala Ali, I say is a good-looking guy.
Yes, that's fair.
He's a movie star. I don't know who the fuck that guy is.
Back in a Jurassic Park movie with Boggos, are they? Like, come on now, be real.
Let me see. Sam Neill. I guess he's okay.
Neil's hunky, man.
Man, okay.
Especially in Jurassic Park.
I think we have different tastes in men.
That's fair. That's fair enough. See what gets on love triangles.
You got Dr. Malcolm right there, kind of just soaking up all the oxygen.
That's very true. He was enough for every character.
Yeah. Oh, like I don't ever see myself watching this one again. To your point.
But even like, let's pull it back a bit. How did you like? Because it seemed to me like they felt like they had to do a bridge between the other Jurassic World movies and this one, and kind of explain away. Oh, you remember how they were all just kind of hanging out in the real world one? They're all dying off now.
It was pretty quick. They did it in a title crawl.
But then it was like, but then they showed like the one dinosaur dying in the street, and he's like, "Oh, can't you just die? I'm trying to get to work or whatever."
Like, has that dinosaur just been dying slowly for months at a time? I don't like. Did that dinosaur escape from a zoo, or did it just wander into
what I mean. You've got like massive dinosaurs just wandering around like the city. Like, I feel like they really just like skip by that, and then everyone's supposed to be like nonplussed by dinosaurs now because they've been around so long and they don't even care. Which, like, I'm like, okay, but then when they get to the island, it's like, oh my god, look at these big dinosaurs! It's so amazing. And, like the scene from the first movie, I'm like, yeah, but you already established that no one gives a shit about dinosaurs anymore. So why do you care? Because these ones are mega, super big dinosaurs.
They also said the scientist guy had never experienced stuff in real life, and I'm like, they're right fucking there. What are you talking about?
Down the road, it's like not in the wild though.
I was surprised that this movie doubled down on the mutant dinosaur thing because God. I did not think that stuff was working. Did you like
any of the designs for the dinosaurs in this movie?
No.
That's what, how can you not hate this movie as much as like even the dinosaurs were horrible, and it's a Jurassic Park movie, so your characters are horrible, your dinosaurs are horrible, the visual effects were absolutely ass. They were horrible
for a Gareth Edwards movie, especially. It's very strange.
Like even just like. Not even like the dinosaur models or stuff, just some of the just regular effect shots just like looked finished.
There were some dolphins jumping that looked terrible. It looked really, really bad.
That was the final shot of your movie. It's not a spoiler that they show dolphins at the end.
Yeah.
And it was like, what the hell is that? It looked honestly so bad.
It looked like a Windows 95 graphic. Like it was like it splashed really out
the ocean and then splashed back in, but then the splashes would just like instantly disappear.
Yeah.
It's just like, and I'm like, is this a real movie? Like, oh my God. And a lot of the VFX were just really poor.
Well, going
like it had no positives for me, not even one positive.
Going back to like
the sound mix was brutal, horrible. You couldn't even hear the score like for the first half.
And
of the movie.
I think the score
that might have been our theater.
The score when it was not John Williams was embarrassingly bad. I think
so bad. I think
it was just like
I think they just tried to bury it because I could barely hear it.
And like they went back to the Williams score a lot,
yeah.
And I mean, and they were trying to hit the exact same beats.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to blame him too hard for that. It is one of the best scores ever, but
I was just talking about like the best moment of Jurassic Park for me.
Yeah,
and they tried to recreate that exactly.
Yep, exactly, and it didn't work at all
because it's not believable. Because this person has seen dinosaurs every day of his life.
Well, they tried to basically redo that whole arc where it's like, oh, I just work in a museum with bones and nobody cares about dinosaur bones anymore because people are sick of dinosaurs. I wish I could have seen a dinosaur. And it's like, wait a minute. There's dinosaurs everywhere. And it's like, yeah, but not in the zoo. So it's like this movie's the equivalent of like going to a safari in Africa and seeing a big elephant and being like, oh my God, it's a big elephant. And you're like, yeah, so it's a big fucking elephant.
I thought it was very funny when he was saying that no one cares about dinosaurs anymore because he could just be speaking about this franchise.
That's a good
30 years ago, people really cared about dinosaurs and now they don't care about dinosaurs anymore.
Maybe they would be meta about it.
Yeah.
Oh, can I just tell you,
sure.
Can I tell you when I gave up on this movie?
Okay.
It was not very long into the movie when something happens with a Snickers wrapper.
Yeah, that was...
And I was like, that is the stupidest thing I've seen. And I looked at my watch and I was like, we're 1 minute into the movie. It's the very first shot of the movie.
And that
it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in a movie.
Did that have any bearing on anything that happened?
Nope.
No,
So they could introduce the big scary dinosaur that looked like, I don't know what it was supposed to be. It looked like a few different things stuck together.
That again is echoing a beat from the first movie. They were trying
to do it again, right?
The first movie opens that way, but that tells us that this park is not as safe as John Hammond is telling us because we've seen a dinosaur kill someone. So everything we're seeing and hearing from John Hammond, we're taking with a grain of salt.
Yep.
In this one, we're going to an island that we already know is full of dangerous dinosaurs and it's already overrun. So it serves no point aside from... I do think the visuals in that were cool.
Yeah, I guess the one thing it does do is ruin your twist when you find out that the island is actually full of genetically modified, like spliced, because it actually shows you that right at the beginning.
It shows you like the Ripley dinosaurs.
And then they play it as a reveal later on. It's like, actually, this island's got like spliced dinosaurs. Like, yeah, we saw that in the opening scene.
Yeah.
And everyone else is like, what? Oh my God, why did you tell us? It's like, well, yeah, we already knew that.
It's like Ripley seeing all the past Ripley clones in Resurrection.
I mean, I get what they were trying to do, and it was a cool idea to have like, oh, this is like a Spinosaurus that is also bred with like a swimming dinosaur, so it's like a swimming Spinosaurus.
But it's the same thing that they were doing before.
Yes. And it's like, well, how about a flying raptor? That's scary, right? It's like, not really. Like, why does it need to fly? It doesn't do anything. It just means it's got wings.
The fucking magic of the Jurassic Park movie is that we've seen dinosaur bones in a museum,
Right.
and now we see what that thing would look like in real life.
Yeah.
I can come up with a bunch of different monster ideas. If you're splicing them together, they're not based off of a real thing.
Yeah.
Like you're not working with like the imagination of like the spectacle of fossils. Now you're just fucking having DNA monsters.
Well, that's why this movie, and I think that's why I'm so annoyed and angry about this movie, because I had assumed that they had learned that lesson. They had learned the lesson that people don't want to see bigger, more mutated, fucked up giant dinosaurs and spliced up stuff to make it bigger and badder. Like, that's not what people give a shit about. They just want to see dinosaurs doing scary things. And they just didn't do that. They just doubled down on like, well, let's have them like spliced together and we'll give these raptors wings and it'll be we'll basically redo the scene from the first movie, but now it's got wings. And they don't use them, but it's still got wings, right? Like, isn't that better? It's like, no.
Yeah, I don't know who's buying these pitches.
It was insane.
We should go into spoilers now before we run out of time.
I think we probably spoiled a bunch of stuff anyway, but whatever, let's do it.
I think we mostly kept it clean.
Yeah, I guess we did. I don't know how you spoil this anyway, to be fair.
Like, everything, like, if I had read the full description of the movie.
Yeah, you would have known exactly what's going to happen anyway.
Yeah. Anyways.
I mean, I guess you don't know who's going to survive. I mean, we won't spoil that.
Join us next week for the conclusion of our Project Superman.
Yes. God, next week's going to be so much better. I can't wait for please give me a good Superman movie.
It's gonna be great.
After
This movie
weeks, please.
This movie, like, I think it's like serviceable. Pete thinks that it should burn in hell.
Yeah. Don't watch this movie. It's garbage.
Well, I'd say
don't reward them for making garbage franchise movies. At least make a good franchise movie.
Okay, let's go on the spoilers, Pete. You're worked up, man. I
was just so annoyed.
Like I was annoyed too. We're in spoilers now, people. We're in spoilers.
I just hate missed opportunities.
The fucking Snickers bar thing. So I know what they're.
Come on.
I know what, like, the first movie. It shows like you can build this complicated series of systems, and then the tiniest little thing will disrupt it.
I guess.
Why they decide that a candy bar would just disrupt the whole system makes no fucking sense to me.
It was so weird.
I'd be mad if I was like the Snickers person who like worked out a deal with Universal for this movie.
But like, I can't, like, unless you're doing like a spoof parody of it. Like, that could have worked for a spoof of it, like, oh, where did my Snickers wrapper go? Oh, it's destroyed. And now the whole defenses have gone down. It's like, that's funny. If you play it as a joke, that's funny.
You're not you when you're hungry.
Yeah, but it wasn't a joke. It was like, for some reason, there's a vent in the door, which I don't understand why, and that sucks air in and sucked in this wrapper. That if it's that delicate, just don't let people have wrappers in that area, guys.
And so it's like, door close fails, security systems down.
Yeah, so the door close didn't close because the wrapper like blew it up. So it's like, okay, we're just gonna have to reboot the entire base defense systems. Like, you don't have a backup generator or anything. Like, what is happening?
I don't know, man.
The other thing though, like, didn't it say like that was 17 years ago? It's what it said.
That's what it said, yeah.
So it did like a 17-year jump. And when they went back to that island, that stuff did not look 17 years old.
No. And
like, they had an electric Jeep. Like, they didn't have electric Jeeps 17 years ago.
Well, and also, if it's 17 years ago, like, why does the diesel in the boat still work?
Why does anything still work? Why does shit still turn on?
Everything just turns on, like, right in the middle of what fucking song were they playing?
Like freaking Duck of the Bay, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Fucking hell, it's just busting out some all green.
Like, do they have it set to, like, play that song every night, or
maybe
is it just on the local radio?
Yeah, and then they just played that song, and then that was it, right? Nothing else happened after that.
Yeah, I guess it should have been playing.
And like everything, they went to that like grocery store thing, and like not a speck of dust on anything. Everything's just hanging out. It's just like, oh my god, every single thing in this movie, I was just like, there's no redeeming qualities in it.
Was there a successful point where you were scared of the dinosaurs?
You know what my favorite part was? When the guy was taking a piss and the raptor was creeping up on him.
Xavier, yeah.
Yeah, and then the bird thing came and got it. And that was the only time I was like, that was pretty cool. But not really, because that fucking character was so annoying. I was kind of disappointed.
He was just overly annoying.
Yeah, like, that was his whole character was. He's the annoying one. And not even like slightly annoying. He just layering it on so thick. He's just jumping up and going, I'm an annoying person.
I thought he was going to have a character arc because he does like do something very heroic.
Yeah, and then they have that meaningful conversation by the campfire, and then it's just okay, that's enough.
And then that's the last time that any of them said anything to each other, right?
Exactly.
No, like I thought some parts of the T-Rex thing were a little scary, like the guy
with the boat,
him like trying to bite the dad under the water. I thought was pretty effective, but like that was a regular T-Rex.
But it wasn't though. I think it was supposed to have been like spliced because it looked a bit stumpy and weird.
Yeah, I guess it was floating underwater.
It looked ugly.
But no, I want to talk about like the two main mutant dinosaurs, which were, you know, the Terra Derpdol or whatever, like the fucking derpy looking thing.
Which one was that? They all look fucking derpy.
Which is like it's like the combo of like the raptor and the pterodactyl thing with like the huge like.
Yeah, they just weird looking.
And the other's like a fucking like rancor, basically.
It basically was. It was like a rancor, like across with a xenomorph and and like extra limbs just poking out.
Well, like when it wraps its fingers around the guy, like they're definitely doing like Luke in the rancor pit, right?
Yeah, that's true actually.
Like, because I guess Gareth Edwards has just never got over like the Star Wars thing.
I was trying to remember what that reminded me of, but you've nailed it there. It was just a rancor.
It just looked fucking stupid. Yeah. And then
it was a rancor with T-Rex arms sticking out of his stomach that did nothing. Oh boy, what were you gonna say about Mahershala?
Well, like he does this whole fucking sacrifice thing, which like he's like, yeah, my kid died. That's why I want to save these kids.
Oh, that was so
It's just so hacky. And then they don't even fucking kill his character.
Like,
how did he get out of that?
He just survived. It was fine.
God.
It was so, that's what I mean.
I fucking threw my hands up at that.
That's why I'm so mad at this movie, Trevor. It's like every single thing they did was bad and wrong.
And they're just like they're also cribbing Jaws during like the first half of the movie is them just doing Jaws.
Yeah.
And they're just like stealing blood, which is just so unsatisfying.
And like the little then it fires off and has a parachute. It was just so stupid. It was like a cartoon.
Yeah, it was
and
not.
They kept playing it for laughs, like, oh, here it comes floating down. Isn't that hilarious? And it's like, I mean, I guess, is it supposed to be? I'm confused. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What about the deaths? Was there any? Did you think there was any cool deaths? Because Jurassic Park has cool deaths.
I thought there was one cool death, but then they didn't do it.
Which one?
I thought the non-Dan Stevens guy.
Yeah.
When the rope goes off and then the thing falls, if he had actually died there, that would have been fucking awesome death.
He hit some palm leaves.
He hit some fucking palm leaves.
The palm frond saved him.
But like, I think that would have been a good death. Like
if he just died.
If he just died there.
Yeah. Yeah. This movie definitely suffered from
because like
there's a lot of plot armor on people in this movie. Like nobody died that anyone could give a shit about.
There's only one person.
Like how many deaths were there? Like 3 in the whole movie.
Like 4 people in the helicopter.
Oh,
I guess.
Count.
Like you knew who was going to make it to the end.
Yes.
But then also Mahershala Ali and Xavier makes it to the end because this movie for some reason didn't want to make any tough decisions.
Yeah. Nobody died. None of the good guys died. The bad guy died, and the 2 unnamed sidekicks at the start of the movie died. That was it.
And
did anybody else even die?
The French guy died.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like him and the 2 people.
But he was nice.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't last very long.
The asshole should have made it longer.
Yeah.
Because like his death wasn't satisfying enough. No. He died right away.
Yeah. That's true.
I
forgot about him. I was trying to remember who you thought. The bad guy from Daredevil, right? Not Daredevil, Deadpool.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name either.
Francis?
Yeah, I don't know the actor's name. But like I thought he'd be around for a bit longer. But like they just immediately go,
he's at least got a face.
I'd forgotten all about him. When we're talking about who died, I'd forgotten all about him.
Well, honestly, like without him, you just have the corporate guy, and we know he's fucking evil.
Right? Ugly Reaper friend.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're gonna do the aliens thing, where you're trying to hide the fact that you're trying to make the corporate guy look like he's somewhat of a good guy, you need more obviously evil people around.
Yep.
Because he's just like, no, I'm gonna like fucking like semi-kill an 18-year-old or whatever.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh.
So I thought there was gonna be some logical reason why all these dinosaurs were flipping over boats. Like they had some kind of compulsion.
Yeah.
Because they flipped over 2 boats and then also the T-Rex flipped over the raft. I'm like, okay, they're going to be displaying some kind of behavior, why they're going towards the equator and why they're like trying to assert dominance with boats or whatever. I'm like, no, I guess they just fucking hate things that float.
They just thought it'd look cool to flip boats in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know.
That whole scene with the inflatable raft was just like comical.
See if there are any deaths that are good. I don't know. Like,
well, I mean, there wasn't really any in it, so I guess not.
Like that lady,
the bird eating the guy, I thought was pretty cool because he ate him like a bird would eat you, just like dropping him down his gullet.
Yeah, he's a hungry boy.
Yeah,
and then he'll puke it back up for his little egg, his little bird babies.
That dinosaur I didn't mind. It just looked like a giant angry pelican.
Yeah, like it was kind of grounded in reality a little bit. Yeah. But no, I'm pretty disappointed with Gareth Edwards' man.
I know, man. I don't know what he was thinking, but I don't know any of them were thinking, though, to be honest.
Well, like, the thing that he's supposed to be really great at is, like, visual character design and stuff like that.
He's done great stuff in the past.
And, like, designing monsters is, like, supposed to be his thing. So, like, what the fuck are you doing on this?
I wonder if maybe there was just too many cooks on this one. I mean, it's a big franchise.
But what's the direction? Like, what are they trying to go for?
I don't even know what they're trying to do here. I don't
like. Hey,
that's what I mean. I don't understand the tone of this. I don't understand who we're supposed to be rooting for. I don't understand what the point of it is.
Well, they're like, yeah, let's not get the $20 million. Let's open source this medicine. They're throwing in some kind of critique of the pharmaceutical industry.
I guess.
Like, I agree, but like, what the fuck's going on?
I didn't get it because I'm assuming that it's the corporation that has the scientists that can use the blood to do this, right? So they can't just go like, we're going to open source this and say to the world, hey, we've got this dinosaur blood, because the world would be like, what the fuck do we care about that? We've not been researching that for the past 20 years.
Well, I guess then that company can also develop that stuff, but they just won't have a patent on it.
But I mean, like, how does anybody else know how to do it? Is my point, though.
No, like there'd be like 5 or 6 companies in the world that can do it, right? And they all.
What is there though? Like,
yeah.
How?
What do you mean? Like
so the reason why Rupert Friend got her to do it is because they had developed this thing, and all they needed was the actual sample so they could finish what they were trying to do. So nobody else in the world knows that they're doing that, I assume.
But I guess
otherwise everybody would be sending people to this freaking island.
You'd get the blood to a scientist who could analyze it, then release the results of that analysis.
I mean, I guess.
They don't need the physical blood; they need the data for that blood.
I guess, but what if I just don't?
I don't know. Like I'm
guess I'm thinking too hard.
I'm doing too much work on the movie's behalf.
Yeah, it just seemed like it was a bit of a cack-handed thing to be saying. Like
honestly, like them. There wasn't really like that tough of a moral choice because you're extracting blood. Yeah, the dinosaurs don't matter. No. Don't mind that you're taking a little bit of blood.
Right, yeah.
So like there wasn't really much like, and so like they can cure heart disease, but it'll be a little expensive. And like it's tough to care like too much about that.
Yeah, I didn't really buy the whole like nobody ever goes to this place. There's nobody even guarding it because nobody'd be stupid enough to go there. I'm like, that doesn't seem likely. You'd have a ton of people like researching these things.
Like we just established that a bunch of pharmaceutical companies could make trillions of dollars by going there.
But I guess they can't because it's illegal to go there. It's like, well, maybe we should make it not illegal if you could literally cure cardiovascular disease.
Pete, it's expressly forbidden. Expressly forbidden.
Not only is it expressly forbidden, it is against the law, Trevor. You could get in trouble with the law if you go there. ScarJo, be careful. Yeah, oh my God.
They were trying to have it both ways with her character, right? Like that she's like cold-hearted, but like isn't a total monster, and then she softens up while staring into non-Dan Stevens' face.
Scarlett Johansson to play that role, though. Like,
yeah, I think
you don't look at Scarlett Johansson and be like, oh, she's a thick-skinned, grizzled mercenary. At all. Like, not that it's saying she can't do that, but I mean, I feel like it's not really what you get from her.
I think she can do that, but like, she's just such a likable character. Person? Why wouldn't you make her character likable?
Yeah.
Like, if you're so
that's fair.
If you're so dead set on having this weirdo family there, like, convince her to come on this mission under false pretenses where she has to rescue those people, right? But actually they're just using that rescue as an excuse to go and extract blood.
Yeah.
That already makes the fucking script better.
Yeah, there's a lot of every decision in this doesn't make sense. Like, because they got the distress call from the family, and they were like, we can't just leave him. We have to go save him. And it's like, okay. And then they went to save him. It's like, okay, now we're going to take him to the dangerous island. That's illegal to go to.
It makes
like,
no
why
sense.
did you pick him up just to take him into a more dangerous place?
Honestly, it probably would have been better if you left them there.
The guy from Deadpool was right. Like, they're safer on the boat. Somebody else will save him. It'll be fine.
Yeah. It's like, we're going to leave you at this abandoned facility. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry. There's a facility there that's been abandoned for 17 years. If we'll just hang out there. It's like, excuse me?
It's got, geothermal energy, which, by the way, like, how long were those pipes traveling to that base?
I love
it's like kilometers and kilometers and kilometers away.
I love that when they said to the dad, it's like, how far away is this? It's like, oh, it's probably a mile or two. And it's like, how do you have possibly any idea how far it is? You've been walking for a full day.
I would guess that, why would they build a facility
that far away?
20 kilometers away? You're
from the hot spring that's powering it?
Who is servicing that infrastructure there
for the last 17 years?
It's crazy.
It was just built so well, Trevor, that you don't have to maintain it at all.
If the fucking
it's got that special oil in it that just lasts forever.
If the Rancor bumps into that, that's fucking just toast.
Okay, if it rains a lot in 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
There's just nothing that makes any sense in this movie. Oh, I hate it so much.
I guess my bar was a lot lower than yours. You were actually pretty excited for this one.
It was, because you know what? It's not... Maybe I'm not... It's not fair to say this, but in my mind, it's not hard to just make a scary dinosaur movie. Dinosaurs are terrifying. Just have scary dinosaurs tracking and killing people in a scary way.
Yeah.
Just make that movie. And I thought that's what they were going to do. I was led to believe, whether that was just me reading too much into headlines or whatever, I was under the impression that's what I was going to get, and I didn't get that. And it made me sad.
I think that they just have to, make it even more simple.
Yeah.
And just, go back to fucking calling it Jurassic Park. You don't have to do the park thing again, but, find something different. Because this one had no original ideas in it at all.
Nope.
And, even all the beats it was hitting were from other movies.
Yeah, but that did it better.
Yeah, and I'm giving Jurassic Park 3 way more credit because at least it had some original shit in it.
Right, yeah.
This thing, is there any, I guess the original concept is the fucking, vial of blood thing that shot, a periscope.
Yeah, but she was terrible with that.
She was really bad. She had no confidence in it at all.
When she was on the boat and she shot it into the wall, I was like, wow, her trigger, what's it called?
Trigger finger?
Yeah, but when you don't put it on the trigger, what do they call it? I'm not a gun guy.
No discipline?
Yeah, the trigger discipline. Yeah. It was your trigger discipline is awful. You literally just accidentally shot that into the wall. You're supposed to be this military, mercenary expert,
that's the
black
thing,
ops person.
She's supposed to be playing a badass, and you didn't get that from her at all.
Well, yeah, because they kept putting her in positions that made her not look like a badass.
But she fucking played Black Widow, where she is a badass, so she can
definitely
do that.
That's what I mean. Just let her do stuff. And then they were like, "Oh, we lost all our weapons, so now we don't have any weapons." It's like, okay, so there's not going to be any shooting anymore. It's just people running around in the woods, man. That's all it is. I hate it. Oh boy, which would work if they were being stalked the entire time, but they weren't. They just walked. Nothing tried to kill them. But what about the cute little dinosaur, Trevor? Was it Dolores? Oh, what a cute dinosaur.
I thought I was going to fucking bite that kid's face.
In my view, why even introduce that if it's not going to do that?
Because they're trying to sell... There's going to be a Dolores toy.
I mean, I guess, but it went nowhere. It went absolutely nowhere. It didn't help him in any way. It didn't cause any drama. It didn't cause any peril.
Yeah, I thought his mom was going to come around or something.
That's what I mean. There was no end game to that character being there. It was just there. So she could have a cute pet.
I guess so.
It did nothing. It did nothing. It affected the plot zero. It didn't do anything.
It wasn't good.
You can even just crowbar something random happening, like a mum coming and saving him at the end because she was looking after the baby or something. Something obvious that would have even been better than what they did.
Man, I'm still fucking mad at Xavier for not taking his shift at the fucking wheel. I'm still so fucking mad at that.
I mean that I mean, I don't have a daughter, but man,
Pete, I just fucking know that that's gonna happen to me.
yeah, it's like you got it right, Trevor.
I
You
just
can steer the boat.
I just fucking know
Yeah,
that that's gonna happen to me, and I'm just gonna be so nice. I'm not
Like,
gonna say anything.
it's fine. You
Yeah.
just go back to sleep.
It's 6. Did you say it's 6 p.m.? Like
Yeah,
that?
I don't know what that was
That's
about.
not. It's not a huge boat. Like, are they just up partying? Like, what are you fucking doing?
That whole situation, I just didn't understand. Why are they on the boat? Why are they there in the boat? Seemingly not far away from the. It's illegal to go to this super dangerous place. But if you just want to sail near it with your family, that's cool.
Well, I'm not gonna judge, like, because I'm not a sailor. But it seems like this family sails all the time, so it shouldn't be that big of it. Like he was saying, like, we're just sailing from like this very well populated island to this very well populated island.
But it's like, you understand that's very close to these giant dinosaurs, right? And I get they did say like there's 50,000 boats in the water, and like none of them have ever been attacked by this dinosaur. What are the odds of that happening?
I'm sure some people try to fucking climb Mount Everest with their baby or something.
Yeah, I guess it just seemed.
That's not making an excuse for either of these people.
Maybe you're right. Maybe it's like it's not a big deal to just sail for a day with your family from one island to the other. It's fun.
Yeah, I'm not fucking taking my daughter's boyfriend though. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it just like the way it was set up though, it just seemed like they'd been like sailing for a long time, and they were like.
Yeah, it seemed like they've been sailing for like 5 days. They're like on day 5 of a 7-day trip. We're doing
this big crossing. It's like, oh, why would you do that? Seemingly all they have is licorice, and that's about it.
Yeah, I maybe want licorice this movie for sure.
Very much so, yeah.
Well, anyways, I think we're probably winding down.
Yeah, I think we could,
so we rate things out of 6.5 on this podcast. Pete, what are you gonna give this one?
2.
Yeah, okay.
I give it a 2. I mean, I know I've been shitting on the whole thing, and I do think it's hateful. But I mean, I do like the people who are in it, even though I hated the performances in this.
Yeah, I think I'm going, I don't know, 3.5.
Okay.
Which is I'm gonna pass the movie even though I don't.
but it had no like positives in my mind. Like not even like I would have been okay with like, well, I hated all the characters and I thought it was dumb, but at least like the visual effects looked cool and the new dinosaur designs were cool, or that death scene was cool. It had nothing. It had none of that.
Yeah, like
or the music was cool, or the mix was cool, or this one scene was cool.
You're making some very compelling arguments for why this movie should be a fail.
Oh.
I think I might be grading on a curve because the other Jurassic World movies just have so much extra bullshit onto it.
I guess.
Like, let's train these raptors to be in the fucking military, or
but you know what? I honestly I feel like give them more credit for doing that. I mean, yes, it's bullshit, but at least it's like doing something.
No, this was
just milquetoast. It was like we're not doing anything. It was like it was generated by AI. This movie. It was just so middle of the road baseline. Nothing interesting happening.
No, I think AI would come up with something more interesting than this. I think this is.
If you fed everything, if you said to AI, review the Jurassic Park movies we've done thus far and come out with the most basic bullshit movie that you can, it would spit this out.
No, I think this is them trying to like. After the 3 Jurassic Worlds saying, we're going to take the spirit of the Jurassic Worlds, but just like pare it down, make it more simple like Jurassic Park, but without taking any lessons about why people don't like the Jurassic World movies that much.
Yeah, to be fair, maybe I need to go actually watch those Jurassic World movies because they are horrible.
There's stuff with clones and there's stuff with like, animal rights activists and stuff.
Okay.
There's fucking volcanoes.
Volcanoes are pretty cool.
There's like, there's fucking like CD auctions.
See, that all sounds way more interesting than any of the bullshit that happened in this movie.
That is one movie. That's one movie. That's too much bullshit for one movie.
Well, at least it's summit. Like, there's not even bullshit in this movie. It's just boring. I found it boring.
Yeah. I think
I don't remember checking my watch so many times during the movie, and it wasn't that long.
Oh yeah, this felt like a 3-hour movie for sure. It was a 2-hour movie.
Like, surely it's wrapping up right now. I was like, nope, they're doing the whole end scene.
How I would do a Jurassic Park movie or whatever is like you just have like a few people. They have a plane crash.
Yeah.
They come down.
Isla Nublar.
They have no survival skills.
Right.
They have to get from point A to point B. They have to kind of learn stuff along the way, evade dinosaurs. That's it. All the dinosaurs are like real dinosaurs.
They don't look stupid.
They're not fucking derpy in any way. They don't resemble anything from the Star Wars canon.
They don't have extra limbs poking out of them for no reason.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Just stick some
Start
wings.
the reactor.
Just stick some wings on that. It'll make it way better.
Yeah. Anyways, we should wrap up here.
Yeah,
folks, join us next week. I'm so excited for Superman.
Yes,
I think it's going to be awesome.
I'm ready.
I keep trying to call it Superman Legacy, but it's just Superman. I think it's going to be a 6.5 movie. I'm super excited.
Yeah.
This movie did I think I'm going to wake up tomorrow and say like, you know what? Yeah, fuck, Pete was right. This really sucked.
I don't know. I thought it was a hateful mess. I really hate it. But you know what? It's probably going to make $1 billion and they'll do a new trilogy. So what do I know?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it's going to have a big drop off next. Well, because Superman's coming out next weekend.
Yeah, I don't think it's got much room to breathe.
F1 is still in there, and everyone's talking about how great F1 looks. So that's gonna hold a lot better than this one. I think. I'd
be interested to know if they bump F1 off any of the big marquee screenings
I think
for this one.
I think F1 kept all the IMAX screens,
which I was surprised.
But then like the other, like the D-Box 40X went to Jurassic World.
How long that'll last?
Well, until fucking Superman comes out, right?
True.
I don't know what these people are thinking. Like, it's way too crowded of a summer, but it's great. It's great for us.
Maybe they just dumped it. I don't know.
No, I don't think they dumped it.
No, I don't.
If they want to do that, they
planned for a long time.
Like they do it like early May or something like that. Yeah. Like at least get some money coming out of here. Anyways, that's enough. We should wrap this up. Like this one took a lot out of you.
Yeah, I'm done with
this
part.
This broke Pete.
I'm gonna go read the book.
Okay.
I didn't love it again.
Honestly, I'd rather watch the movie.
That's true. The movie. Yeah. Just watch the movie.
All right, folks. Well, I think we're wrapping up here. Yeah, definitely like and subscribe to the podcast. And
please do. Tell your friends.
Yeah, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, tell your grandma,
tell the Snyder Bros. We got to listen to our.
You know what? I think
opinions.
I said
Justice League.
I think we've been pretty generous to the Snyderverse.
Yeah. Well, I actually am a bit of a Zack Snyder fan. On the quiet, it's not cool to be a fan. I mean, I don't think he makes very good narrative movies, but I dig his style, and I think he's done some good stuff.
I think I like his movies more than I don't like his movies.
There you go. That's how I feel. I mean, it's not. You can't say that anymore, though, Trevor. It's not to say that.
Well,
either he's God or he's the devil. You have to pick one.
I did turn off his zombie movie, the Dawn of the Dead sequel. What was that one? Like the one with Batista?
Oh, yeah, I never saw that one. The first one I loved. Well,
yeah, the first one's still might be his best movie. I like Watchmen.
Yeah, I do.
I like Man of Steel. I don't...
About 300 and...
300 I don't think is aged well.
What was that one he did that everyone hates? Sucker Punch or something?
I've never seen it. You like it, right?
I liked it, yeah. I mean, visually it's interesting.
Like Batman v Superman, I like a lot about it. But I have problems with. And then Justice League, I'm a fan of.
Yeah, he does good stuff.
Then I got 10 minutes into like his, what the fuck's his space opera movie? Like that was bad. Yeah, that's fair. So I don't know, Snyder Bros. If you listen to that one,
yeah, we don't have I can't remember the name of it.
It's like
and I think I watched the extended cut of that movie.
Is it Scorch something?
No, I watched the extended cut of that, and it was bad.
Why do you do this to yourself?
I don't know. I guess I've got too much time on my hands.
Okay, we gotta
anyway, good night, guys.
Good night.
That's the final word. I forgot to sign off.